Hey friends, that turkey's put up, which means Christmas is coming out. So if that interests you, join me today as we set up Christmas around my home. Now, quick thing, most of the decor in my videos is either things that I have thrifted, things that were handed down to me, things that I have made as detailed in other videos, or a few things here and there that I've picked up. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll try to answer. But in the meantime, have a seat, wrap up in something cozy, grab something warm to drink, and enjoy the show. Or better yet, pull out your decor and you can decorate along with me. It's all about finding community during this holiday season, and I really hope that my YouTube page is somewhere where people find others who are like them, who are interested in the same activities and the same decor style. Which, speaking of which, hi, my name is Jess and welcome to the Seasonal Storm. I love rustic, Western type decor, and I specialize in making a lot of that. So we're starting in the kitchen. My favorite place to decorate actually is on top of my kitchen cabinets, and that little sign's from Dollar Tree. All these little tiny trees are from Dollar Tree, and once upon a time I used to shop at Dollar Tree all the time just because I was a girl who didn't have a lot of means. However, I think it's still a great place to find a good deal on pieces that are filler. Now, the sign that says "Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas" was found at the Goodwill. I'm starting to put up my gnomes. Now, I know some people are over the gnome decor, but if you're like me and you're Scandinavian, you know gnomes are a big deal. So my gnomes are here to stay. So I'm popping in some more red flowers. I'm popping in some other pine picks and stashing my gnomes away. If you're Okay, so we are at this cupboard section that is the transition from this fun North Pole Bakery kind of bright red, very traditional Christmas section I've got going on in my kitchen. Now I'm in this kind of transitional cabinet before we go to the rest of the shared living space. It's going to be more rustic. So elements for here that I'm going to use. Now behind me, you can't quite see, but I'll do a close-up. The greenery, aside from the fall picks that I removed, is actually all greenery I put up for my Thanksgiving decor. So this was super easy, but I've just got some pine, some cattails, and this cotton stem, which I like the cotton stem because it reminds me of snow, even though cotton is definitely out of season at this point. Disregard. And then in this galvanized, I have a lantern, one of my glittery poinsettias, a glittery pine cone, and a pine pick with some berries. So I'll do a close-up just so you guys can all see all of that. Now in this area, I want to hide one of my Nisa gnomes, and I love these. I have lots of them in the kitchen, so I want to make sure one gets over here. And then I have some more unique pieces. So I have this all black reindeer, and I want to make sure I put him somewhere where he can pop out and be seen. And then I had this sign from the Dollar Tree last year. It's this barn. It says "Season's Greetings." And again, for living on a ranch, I think that this is super cute. But then today I went to the Goodwill to get some materials for some DIYs for holiday gifts. And I found this super fun little cowboy snowman, and he was only $1.99. And I knew exactly where he needed to go. So I'm just gonna put this sign here. And normally I put some flowers or something in that. I don't have any, so I'm going to just stash this behind there. So I've got my little Season's Greetings barn in. And I'm gonna put my deer somewhere he'll be seen. So I'm thinking we'll put him over here. And then got a little cowboy snowman looking like he's gonna rope our deer. You can kind of see the vision. So vintage decor is huge right now and is having a big resurgence in the DIY and homemade things. And if you've ever read the book Little Women, you know that the imagery of these citrus garlands just brings a sense of sunshine and warmth back in during the winter months. So I tried my hand at making one, and I added some red bows, and you can see more in an upcoming DIY video. Now here's the overview of the kitchen decor from our cowboy snowman, roping that deer across to our other cabinets. Quick look at that blood orange garland and a little pop of a teapot and some peppermint whimsy. I really love how my kitchen decor turned out, and I'm so excited to bake holiday treats in here to give to family and friends. Now next up is on top of my little cabinet by the table, and I had to pop in this Santa that I've had since childhood, along with just a Hobby Lobby pick and a Mary sign I painted a few years back. And he fits right in, right? Now on the table, I have a hurricane vase filled with a few ornaments, and those little figures are actually the top of charcuterie knives. Okay, so we have made it. We're making a horseshoe around this communal space, and this buffet table has become kind of the center point of all decor in this house, in this home. And this is where I want to put my nativity scene, and it's special for reasons other than just being the reason for the season. It belonged to my grandparents on my dad's side, and it's one of the few things of theirs that I have. And I want to make sure that it has a spot where it is just the moment. Now with that said, I'm going to keep most of the other things up that normally are, but I may have a choice to make here. I had this plaid runner that's just these neutral plaids that has a little bit of navy in it from my Thanksgiving decor, and that doesn't really go with my Christmas decor. So I have this, which is definitely more of a taupe. It's a neutral. But believe it or not, this is actually not a table runner. This is the top section of a curtain. And I think anything can be repurposed for what you need it to. So I'm gonna try with this first, but my vision with this was I wanted to layer this as my base and take a little bit of the snow mesh and put it over the top. And quite frankly, I think that this is my pick. So let's take everything off, switch it with this, and see what we think. Popping back in, as you can see, I've taken all my fall florals out, but what's remaining of my floral transitions really nicely from my Thanksgiving. This was the backdrop, and I had a few fall leaves on this for Thanksgiving decor, and it's actually worked out really well for Christmas. So I'm not gonna change any of this. I might add a few picks, but this is still gonna be the base. After fighting with the mesh and returning the greenery back to its space, I had this really great idea to take these rope lights and drape them around the picture frame, because I think they add that nice glow that I love during the holiday season, but also I knew immediately they would look amazing with this nativity set. And I was so excited to see how they would turn out when pulled all together to, again, bring down the focus of this space onto our Lord and Savior. Now up next, I did something kind of sketchy. I got on a ladder and I went to hanging some ornaments on these mounts. And yes, I'm using an arrow to do so. I do not recommend you try this without supervision. Now my last great hack, set all your timers on your lights. All of these lanterns can be found on Amazon, as can all of my little string lights. And I set all their timers at the same time, so mine go on every day around 4:45. So by the time I get home, all my nice warm and cozy lights are on. And look how beautiful it's all pulled together. Again, this is probably my favorite decor space in the entire home. I also made this wreath as featured in another DIY video. You can see more there. Now again, my favorite holiday hack are pillow covers. So I'm swapping out fall and bringing in my Christmas pillow covers. And yes, I have a lot of throw pillows. I know I like to cozy up with them, and I try to keep my dogs from cozying up with them too. All of these pillow covers came from Shein, if you're willing to try your hand at ordering from there. Now this dough bowl is a great accessory, and I wanted to put that sign in, but it just was not working. And pretty much whenever I fill a space like this, I find my leftover items and I try to find them a home. And I settled on a full rustic theme with the burlap balls and some little touches of glitter and an old Santa quilt and a few other things. Now watching this questionable Christmas movie, I decided to string this fun little bauble garland, and I love it, and it's so easy. Just take your favorite ribbon, string some extra bulbs on that, and there you go. Now next up was my big garland down my stairwell, and I do not have a rail on the other side. Yes, I know people are always concerned about it, but I just went ahead and stapled my garland to the wood railing. I weaved some burlap in there, and if you checked out my prep with me video, I actually did all of that in advance, and then I wove some lights through super quick. Love these really light fairy lights. There they are. And that was that. Now in the entry space, I finally found my home for the holidays, and I also added that little tractor that I painted in my Christmas Paint With Me video if you're interested in repurposing any of your fall decor. And this is the finished product. I love how this garland turned out. It is so simple, but I think it's just so beautiful. Okay, in terms of indoor decorating, we have finally hit the end of the line. I'm upstairs. I am taking what is left over and not assigned for the downstairs tree, which maybe will happen this weekend. I don't know. And I'm going to put it on this tree. This is the loft. It's an office, it's storage space for a lot of hunting gear, and it's guest bedding for anyone who's coming to stay during this hunting season. And I'd like to feel like home. So, without further ado, time to throw some stuff on a tree and make a bed. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I love adding personal touches to the back of my Dollar Tree signs, and look how great they fill in this tree. You don't need a ton of ornaments to take up a lot of space, and I am just placing some of the things I painted in a Paint With Me and I recrafted in my ornament DIY video, finding them a home on this tree for now until I get my main tree. Stay tuned. And adding some poinsettias and calling it a day. And this is the finished product. I really love how this turned out. Not that anyone staying up here would really care, but I love it. And last up, of course, is changing out the pillow covers on the upstairs guest bed just to something a little more rustic and cozy, adding some throw pillows and calling it a day. And with that, I am done decorating the upstairs. It's simple, it's rustic, it's nothing fancy, but if someone's coming to visit, hopefully they feel a little more like home in here. And with that, I am done decorating my home with the exception of my Christmas tree. Stay tuned for the next video. But if you've been having so much fun with me this Christmas season, I still have some gift DIY with me videos, wrapping DIY with me videos, and a few more craft with me. So if that interests you, stay tuned for future videos. Feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below what your favorite section was. I'll see you in the next one. Merry Christmas!